It is possible that there were some miscommunication or misunderstanding between the girls and Adi. Most likely on the girl's part, if that was the case. But that's a big maybe. Adi had no reason to lie. One thing is clear. Girls cannot deny that Adi reached out to them. This means they were aware of the situations and had the same opportunity to change their electives as I was able to do with the help of Adi, but chose not to. With this knowledge, it was their responsibility, particularly Smiley's as the class representative, to inform the rest of the class. Yet she didn't tell anyone. Additionally, at the time, when the boys texted that they took Elective B, no one in the class asked how the boys were able to take it, particularly Adi. Everyone remained silent. If they had asked at that time, there might have been a chance for Adi to help them change their elective choices as well. Smiley made it seem like I was the one who was selfish, that I didn't tell them that I took Elective B. She was saying this when I was present, manipulating the other girls in the class. They all formed a group and I could hear her speak about me. I didn't respond because I was too exhausted by her behavior. I thought, let them think whatever they want, let them do whatever they want, I don't care. Let me tell you, Smiley was the same girl who in the second semester kept the notes provided by the lecturer to herself and her minions. When Adi went to check the notes with the lecturer that we had prepared, the lecturer, asked whether Smiley had distributed the notes the lecturer had given to her for the entire class, to which Adi replied no, as they were kept away from us by Smiley. I mean, Adi took Elective B and 3 other students took it too. But I was the one who was blamed for not informing others. All the problems started when they found out I took Elective B. But no one said anything when the boys announced that they had taken it. Then they started accusing me of not telling them. They had no right to blame me, especially since I only found out later that Adi had changed my elective for me. And once again, it all happened at the last minute. I remember some of the girls even mistreated me. There was one time when I wasn't feeling well, but I still attended the college. That semester, I made it a point to go to college even when I was unwell, because I didn't want to depend on anyone as much as possible. I wanted to attend classes and do my work. I was visibly sick, which showed on my face. One of the girls, who was an irregular student, came up to me and said, "You don't look like you're well." I told her that's because I wasn't feeling well, and then she replied, "Look at me. I was in the hospital and had 3 bottles of saline put on me. And I'm so energetic, while you look pathetic." She was lying. And she was making me feel bad for being ill. I knew she was upset because of the Elective B situation, clearly manipulated by Smiley, but her behavior was so cheap. At that point, I decided to just go to the library and ignore her. I went there and she followed me because, like every other irregular student, she wanted notes. I ignored her and focused on my work. Later, before the exams, she called me because she needed notes. And there was no one else among the regular students who would help her. So she had to call me. That's when she confessed that she was upset about the Elective B situation. You see, these were the girls I would help throughout the entire course. I helped them as much as I could when others didn't. They would tell me how helpful I was to them. And these same girls were the ones who believed Smiley when she told them that I had betrayed them. Not once did they consider asking me what exactly had happened. Maybe they could have asked me, but no, they chose to mistreat me and behave passive-aggressively. Smiley's followers, I'm sorry to say this, but to me, they didn't have any identity other than being her minions, including her then best friend. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. Because before them, I used to be Smiley's minion without even realizing it for a long time. They would only talk to me when it suited them. It felt like my value had been diminished in their eyes. Once I was talking to one of them, but she didn't respond, as if I was talking to a wall. This continued for half a day. Then Sharda, a classmate, told me to sit with her in the lab with Renuka ma'am, the lecturer who thought Elective A was holding a class. I could have quietly sat at the back and had done my work, but I asked for her permission. In a rude tone, she told me to go sit in the library. It was clear that I wasn't welcome in the lab. For some reason, I didn't know why she treated me like that. I guess she took it personally that I didn't choose Elective A, which was unprofessional. The other girls were there when she said that, and it must have been satisfying for them, especially for the girl who hadn't been talking to me that day. Because after that lecture, she suddenly started talking to me, and she was suddenly nice. Whether it was students or teachers, I was the one who took the brunt of it. Because the boys, the other students, all had jobs. They would rarely come to the college, so I had to face everything on my own. Whenever I told Adi that other students were misbehaving with me, he would tell me to let them know that if they had an issue, they could talk to him. Adi was the one who would stand up for himself. He would literally overpower them. They knew I was an easy target, so they would target me. Although Renuka ma'am didn't let me stay in the lab at that time, she did let Adi in. He told me about it. However, I did manage to enter that newly created lab with the head of department's permission, as the software in that lab supported the one we needed for Elective B. And Renuka ma'am this time had to let me in. There was another teacher who showed interest in helping with Elective B's practicals, even though I didn't needed any assistance, as I had experience with the subject of Elective B and a practical record to refer to. She wasn't the official lecturer for Elective B. There was an unsaid rivalry, some sort of politics between Renuka ma'am and this other lecturer. Renuka ma'am once told me, "Your teacher is looking for you." I was confused about who was she referring to. It turned out to be that other lecturer. I was really disappointed in Renuka ma'am for her behavior towards me. It wasn't her we rejected. We just didn't took Elective A because we had our own reasons. I had my reasons. She once mentioned in the staff room to another lecturer that only 5 students took Elective B, while the other 15 took Elective A, as if trying to make a point. Little did she know, the entire class wanted to take Elective B instead of Elective A, and they were giving me shit for not telling them. The overall atmosphere was one where students' choices became entangled in teachers' personal or professional conflicts, causing unnecessary tension and leading me to feeling unfairly blamed by peers and teachers alike. There was no need for her to take it personally. As I said before, it was very unprofessional for her to behave in such a petty manner. Anyways, here I am, telling you the story, letting it out as a way to let it go. By recounting the events in detail, it was a way for me to process and release pent-up emotions. The situation I described was stressful, and sharing it helped me out, work through these feelings, and finally let go of some of the resentment or hurt I've been carrying. The situation I described was stressful, and sharing it helped me work through those feelings and finally let go of some of the resentment or hurt I've been carrying. To be continued in the next part.